What's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to have an interview with the man, the myth, the legend, or soon to be legend with how he's championing Skeleton Punks, Mr. Boolin. And so without further ado, sit back, relax, strap in, put your helmets on, and let's get into it. Okay, welcome Mr. Boolin to the show. You all right today?
Yes, I am. Thanks for having me. Dan.
All right. So can you just give us a little bit of background information on yourself?
As you guys know, I'm Boolin. I'm the founder of Skeleton Punks, and I'm a dentist by day. I do work a full-time job, and then every day when I come back, I just kind of spend all my time in crypto and Discord, Twitter, exploring and also developing for Skeleton Punks.
So how did you get started with Skeleton Punks?
It's a really interesting story, actually. I came across Skeleton Punks. I had actually won a giveaway for a free Skeleton Punk. Yeah, all the way back then. And then, I didn't think anything of it. I was roaming around at the time, and I had no involvement with the projects. And, it was a good, solid roadmap, nothing extremely unique, but I could really tell that they were lacking in someone who could articulate their vision in English, right? A lot of the steps of the roadmap didn't really make sense. For example, it said we're going to launch on Luart, and then it said after that 10,000 skeleton punks are going to be randomly generated, right? And so I was like, the order of those two things don't really
it's
match
confusing,
up.
right?
Exactly. So I reached out to the founder, and that was Phrex, right? So I reached out to him, and I was asking him, hey, I could tell you're kind of lacking in this department. Would you be interested in just having me revise your roadmap for you? And, you can use it. You don't have to use it, whatever you want. So he really liked, my revisions on the roadmap. And eventually that turned into me sort of editing all the Twitter posts for him, all the Discord announcements. And then eventually I started being somewhat of a community manager within the Discord. And I think people that were around before Mint would really tell you that as well. I had even had them change the art. I downloaded Photoshop and was, kind of creating traits on my own.
Doing pretty much everything, man.
Yeah. So I told him, I was like, hey, can we make me an official co-founder, right? And, that happened as well. He was happy to do it. And so that's just my story, but it's really not that hard to fill some of these positions once you kind of branch out in the space, get to know people, make friends, and you really be surprised by how helpful everyone in Terra really is.
How did you discover that Phrex had done some shady stuff and run out with the money and some NFTs?
Yeah, so honestly, I had never really, from all my time spent with Phrex before Mint, I had never suspected it, really. He's been involved since the beginning. So obviously, when I first joined, they already had their initial run of art. They already had, a roadmap, even if it wasn't well articulated. And, he had a dev, he had an artist. He really did put in a lot of work before Mint. But then after Mint, it was really odd. He went from responding to me, let's say multiple times a day, to really just once a day, right? And I knew he was probably a little bit burnt from just all the work that we had put in before Mint. So once again, I didn't really suspect it, right? But then eventually one day, he just completely went radio silent, right? And so I thought, okay, maybe one day pass, right? I'm sure something could happen, right? Where you might just not get to your computer, your Telegram, your Discord. I mean, for example, I had a car accident, right, just yesterday. Yeah, I know. And it was hard for me to kind of get back to everyone, right? Because I was dealing with insurance all day. So, I was just hoping that he was okay. I was hoping that, he would get back to me soon, obviously. And then eventually a day turned into two, turned into a week. And that's when I really started to kind of check the wallet, right? And see what is going on, right? Because you might not have time to respond to me, but do you have time? Are you making transactions on this wallet, right? And what I saw was like there was some shady things going on, like him transferring, let's say, like a floor skeleton punk from our treasury to some other wallet, but nothing that wasn't completely explainable, right? Until that angel, the one of one angel that was meant for Angel Protocol charity, right? 100% of the proceeds were supposed to go to Angel, and that popped up on Luart's marketplace. So when I saw that, I was livid, right? And I reached out immediately to my contacts at Luart, especially Aston, and we worked extremely quickly to I posted the evidence, and we worked extremely quickly to freeze the royalties, right? Because at the end of the day, Phrex did have full control over the treasury wallet, so I wanted to be able to freeze the royalties so that people wouldn't be scared that if I continue supporting Skeleton Punks, right, if something were to happen, that am I supporting this guy who's really turned his back on the community? And the answer would be no, right? So we got the royalties frozen, and then it took a little less than a week after that, and he pulled the rest of the funds off of Anchor, right? That was the majority of the community funds off of Anchor. And so I watched that happen as well on Terra Station. I was tracking his address, and so once that happened, there was really no doubt left in my mind. I had sent the transactions to Aston. We had Terra Big Brain reached out, right? Because I wanted to make sure that the future of the project was going to be secure, and him being a big investor, I reached out to him, and, he's helped me immensely, and, has, I sent him the transactions. And so he put out a thread to kind of help us, control the narrative on social media, right? Because we wanted to make sure that people understood that the project, like we're still building, but this is what happened, right? And you have to be transparent with everyone at that point.
Yeah, I think you guys did a good job on that. You really got out there and got out your message pretty quick.
Really big shout out to Aston, all of Luart for really, putting their backs behind Skeleton Punks, supporting us. You guys for, wanting to hear the story, right? And, Big Brain, Merrick for actually, putting his wallet behind it, and just the whole community just has been crazy, right? Crazy supportive.
So what is a multisig?
So, well, I wish I had, known more about this before, but, it's essentially just like a crypto wallet, right? Like a Terra Station, within Luna, like that's what we would use, that would require like 2 or more private keys, like, or signers, right? To sign before a transaction can be sent through, right? Before money can be moved, whatever that may be.
So that would prevent something like what Phrex did then?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's, by far, my biggest regret. I think to anyone watching this, right, and trying to start their own project, or even just to get involved, it's something that, you definitely want to have for your project, for the bulk of the funds, right? Obviously, you need somewhat of a hot wallet or an operational wallet that, holds a smaller amount of money so that you can transact here and there, let's say giveaways, people that win a skeleton punk on Twitter, right? You don't want to have the whole team sign before that can be sent. But, let's say you have a 6-digit number, right, in UST, you're going to want to have that in a multisig.
So what is the current situation with Phrex? Is there anything, any legal action or?
Okay, so yes, I know Luart is actually, they've started the investigation. I understand, it might not be as expedited, the entire process, right, as a lot of my community members and myself even, right, would like to see. But I understand that that's something that, Luart as a large entity here, can't just go and find these past messages and dig up his phone number. We have to use the proper channels and, to actually pursue legal action. And, that's something that I know that they are doing. And that's something that they're actually using some of their own money for, is what I've been told. So, I can't thank them enough for doing that. Right. Us not having those funds to really fund that investigation. Right. We're in a hard spot. And so just seeing Luart put their own time and their own money into getting justice, right. Getting justice for the community. That means everything.
And also, like, what do you think about him recently be coming back on Twitter and tweeting like nothing's happened? He's just like, oh yeah, guys, tweet.
Oh my gosh.
Whack-a-mole. Whack-a-mole. La 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 la. La la la.
I don't know if it's too early to joke about this, but I saw one community member, and because I think his first tweet was, "You've seen one side of the coin, but not the other, right?" And the guy goes, "Sir, like, please return a coin so we can see the other side." Like,
it's pretty crazy.
I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, he stole 350K from the community, and then he's like, "Oh, let's do a 300 Luna giveaway or something."
So, is there any alpha leads you have for us and the viewers?
So staking, I am willing to say, staking is going to be paid out in USD, right? As I've always said. And then, so a little bit of alpha that I am willing to leak is that we're looking into other things that are not just UST rewards, right? I think if you're going to look at another project as a reference, I like the concept behind what the Wagme Monkeys did. The Wagme Monkeys and Wagme Kongs, how they kind of rewarded you in an NFT, right? So that's definitely something that we're looking into.
So is there anything else you want to talk about? Say anything else? Or
yeah, I just want to leave everything. I just want to leave this this talk on a positive note, because I think a lot of people, they might have heard all the things about Phrex, gotten pretty scared. What if that happens to my project, or how do I prevent? And we've even seen some other projects who've already been around starting to get questioned, right? Like, hey, do you guys use a multisig for everything? And it's like I don't want people to take too much negative from this, right? Like, obviously you want to be safe, right? You want to protect the community however you can, and a multisig is a great way to do that. But at the same time, not every project is going to need to move all of their funds through a multisig, nor would it be feasible for them to do that, right? So I think if you want to get involved in a project, that's also something that I don't want you to be afraid of doing. I want everyone to take a bit of inspiration out of this, and just to take that next step, to go and talk to someone, reach out to, if you don't have a Rust developer, or let's say you don't have a good graphics artist, or whatever you're missing, go find that project that does have it, right? And just ask them, say, hey, and maybe they say no, but if you didn't ask, right, you wouldn't have that anyways, right? You wouldn't have that opportunity anyways.
All right, so I think we're coming to the end of the interview. So what we're going to have now is we're going to have this last round, what we call the hot helmet. And it's going to be a rapid fire round of questions where you have to answer as quick as you can. Okay. So are you up for the challenge?
Sounds like fun. Let's do it.
All right. Okay. So Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos?
Musk. Definitely Musk.
Pineapple on pizza, yeah or nay?
Absolutely not.
I mean, maybe as well, no one. Big fat leverage or stable yields?
Stable yields. I like Lavana, but I love Anchor. I'm especially when dealing with community funds, Anchor all day.
Have you ever been liquidated?
No, never.
Coffee or tea?
Tea. I gotta go tea.
Have you watched Aladdin?
Yes.
Is Skeleton Punks a rug pull?
Yes. Is Skeleton Punks a what? Sorry?
A rug pull.
A rug pull. No, we survived.
And is it morning or night?
It's morning for me.
XRP Army or Ada Gang?
Oh my gosh. I'll go Ada Gang.
All right. Salty or sweet?
Oh, salty. Huge umami guy. That's why I say no pineapple on pizza.
Do Kwon or Do Queen?
Do Kwon.
What is Phrex doing at this very moment? What do you think he's doing?
I have no idea. For his sake, probably, I hope he's hiding in some place with no internet. Definitely, whatever you do, don't tweet, man. Don't. Just go away.
Okay, and that was it for the hot helmet round.
Appreciate you guys having me, man. Really. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. And that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something and found it interesting. And if you did, you know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe, and why not comment down below who else we should have on the show. All right, guys, put your helmets on, and I'll see you in the next one.